Hey guys, it's Ray here, back with another Reverse 99 video. We're going to be talking about some tips to maximize your score for the mains bulletin, specifically for the Darkness of the Abyss here. But just a very quick side note, I do want to thank you all for the support from my last videos of the Limbo showcases and the clears. A lot of you did enjoy them and you want to see more, so when the Limbo resets the next time, I will show my clears for both sides of stage 6. Alright, and if you want, you can actually watch me live while I do them. I usually live stream my first attempts for Limbo, and I'm actually going to be streaming the second raid boss that's going to come out in a couple of days. So if you want to be there or be notified and all that stuff, you can follow or subscribe, up to you. I will make a post when I go live a couple hours before, or maybe even a day before, so just a heads up for that. All right, let's get right into the video. All right, tip number 1 here, I'm gonna obviously assume you know the mechanics and some of the boss's attack patterns and whatnot, and we're actually going to abuse the fact that they're going to be targeting your strongest or highest HP ally. And for once ever in, Reverse 99, I think positioning actually matters, and positioning is where you're actually placing your units. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to have our supports in the very front, which is not ideal. This is not what you want to do, but I'm going to show you why. Okay. All right, so we're going to start off the battle here, and if you did know about the skills, they prioritize your highest HP ally. So what happens if all your allies are at 100 HP? Well, are they going to RNG and attack randomly? Actually no, they're going to attack your most 2 left units, and as you can see, he attacked these 2, and look at that, he applied Frostbite. And as many of you know, again, I'm assuming you know how to cleanse it, you have to use 2 skills from your ally to cleanse the Frostbite. Well, if you're now in this situation where your supports are forced to be using their skills, or you feel like you're pressured to use their skills or else they're going to freeze, then you're going to have to use their skills. But if you look at that, you're not really doing a lot of damage because your supports tend to not use that many skills. They're only there to heal or buff with that 1 skill every several turns. So this is unfortunately the situation you're put in. You have to keep using your skills to cleanse, and that is not ideal. So that's why you don't want to put them in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the correct position, in my opinion, which is putting your DPSs in the front. So we're going to go ahead and switch it up. We're going to put Lilia and 37 in the very front, and we're going to start that same scenario again. So again, it's not RNG, because we're going to see again that this big boss here is still going to attack our most left units, even though everyone is at 100% HP. And again, the mechanic of his attack is attacking the highest HP units, and see, look at that, he attacks our most left unit. And why is it a good thing to have Frostbite on our DPS? It's because we actually want to use the skills of our DPS. So by using your skills anyway, you wanted to do damage, and now you're going to not have to worry about the Frostbite, because you're going to cleanse it anyway, but at the same time you're using the skills of the characters that you actually want to be using. So, and look at that, we just used both of our skills. We're doing a lot of DPS. Obviously, I'm not going to attack the main body because I'm just trying to show you guys how this mechanic works. So there we go. We just cleansed it off our main DPS. We did a lot of decent damage. But if you compared that with Necrologist and Tooth Fairy having the Frostbite, and then they had to use their skills, we would not have done this much damage. And that is kind of like less damage over that turn, and you're not using your DPS's move. So that's why you want to always put your DPS in the most left of the team. And I'm going to show you how to also manipulate this as well. So right now, as you can see, all the HPs of your teammates are kind of scattered. They're all different numbers here, and you can click in to see them. Obviously, you can actually calculate the percentage if you want to do it, but that's a little bit too much in my opinion. Most of the time you can just eyeball it and kind of guess who's going to be attacking. So we're going to continue manipulating this AI mechanic by actually topping up our health here, because this guy is going to again cast his debuff on the 2 highest targets, and we want him to attack our DPS. So how do we do that? Let's go ahead and make everyone 100% HP once again, and we're going to kind of force him to attack Lily and 37 again. So we heal up, everyone's 100%. Again, it's not RNG. He's going to attack your most left units. And look at that. Now we have Frostbite on our DPSs, which we don't really care because we're going to use their skills regardless. So we are going to cleanse it. So we never really have to worry about the Frostbite ever affecting us, because we're making them, or we're forcing the boss to apply it to our DPS, who are totally okay with spamming skills. All right, so that is the very first tip. All right, and then on to more kind of general tips. I feel like many people have already figured it out if they played enough of this raid. But as you can see here, I am on this very last bit of this HP bar here, and then going to the next one, I know he's going to get stacking damage reduction. That's why I'm going to stack my damage and try to burst with my Lily ult, because the next turn, if I did burst the next turn, he's going to take way less damage because he has those 2 reduction stacks. And as you can see, the damage I did from his last HP bar actually carries over. Not only that, the damage I was doing was not affected by his 2 stacks of damage reduction that he has now. All right, so just another clip showing you the same idea, but I really want to show this one because this is my run on this team with no star units. And as you can see, my main DPS is Melania, and I feel like she's still the best non-star DPS to bring for this raid. You're going to see how much crazy damage she does, and she's going to burst into the next bar of HP. Look at that, 53,000 damage, and she's already chunked him a third into his next HP bar. Absolutely insane. This one was really difficult, but at the same time, it's pretty fun. Okay, so now for another clip. This is actually going to be the counter to what I just told you, where you want to burst into the next HP. So later on in the fight, when the boss has like a bunch of damage reduction stacks, you actually do not want to use your non-Genesis damage on him. And in fact, you actually want to save your non-Genesis damage on the, the other servants that spawn at the next bar of HP, as you'll see in this clip here. So as you can see, I just do enough damage to get into the next phase, and I also heal to kind of prepare my team for this bar of HP. And as you can see, I also saved up my Lily ult. I didn't use it on the main boss because it wouldn't have done such low damage. It's literally going to be reduced by 60%, and now it's going to be reduced by 80%. So instead, we're going to use all of our skills onto the other serpent's heads that just spawned, and we're actually going to eliminate it right away. And this is the best way to tackle this when you get to very high damage stacks, damage reduction stacks on the boss. And as you can see here, once you eliminate that head, you're going to deal 15% of max HP damage to the team. So that's actually a lot of damage. You are not going to do all that damage. If I did that same combo to the main body, I would not have done 15% damage. I'd probably do like 5% damage. So that's why it's very important when you get to the higher or the later stages of the raid where he gets a lot of damage reduction, just focus on the smaller serpents on the side first and then focus on him last. Okay. All right, so the next question is probably, when should you actually switch your targeting from the main body over to the smaller body? So a good rule of thumb is actually at 4 stacks of damage reduction, because at 4 stacks of damage reduction, that is 40% damage reduction, along with the 25% damage resistance that he actually gets every time his smaller serpents attack. That's going to be like 50-60% damage reduction, and you're going to be doing like minimal damage to him. So this is always a good time to switch over to the smallest serpents. At least that's what I recommend. If you have very well invested characters, you can continue to brute force it and even go through this 4 stacks of damage reduction. As you can see, I do get very close to it because I was kind of limit testing and seeing if I can really push it, but unfortunately I am not able to. So this is just a good example of where I should have just focused the smaller serpents here. Another rule you can follow is if you're able to actually deplete the main body's HP all the way down to 0 before the smallest serpents get to their ulti, which is at 4 Moxie, they are going to both freeze your teammates, and that is also very, very painful. As you can see here, like this clip here, I should have again focused on the smaller bodies because I am about to get frozen here, double freeze. They actually end up double freezing my 37. I guess she just had the most HP out of everyone. But yeah, you don't want to be in a situation where 2 of your units are frozen and the enemy is about to ulti you. Alright, so that's going to be all the tips I'm going to give you for this raid. Again, don't stress yourself out for the max amount of rewards, because at S and higher, honestly, the rewards are not worth it, and all you have to aim for is B+ or A+. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.